wanted to put Honey Dip out. They thought that was a big hit. We knew Here We Go Again was a hit from the time we finished it. But I'll tell you this story. I hated the bridge. To this day, I don't like the bridge. And Phil was like, dude, we got to do the bridge. He convinced me, like, man, I was like, man, we shouldn't put this in the music. I didn't want to do the bridge at all. I hated it. I don't know why.
What part of the bridge?
Michael's like, Phil, what you mean by, Phil was like, he was like, what you mean by climb the mountain? What?
Musically, I thought I was slowing it down. I was like, sometimes I used to feel like bridges would slow things down. It would mess up the continuity or the momentum of the song. So that's why I didn't want to do it. And then Philip put this weird thing on there. I was like, climb the mountain. What? And everybody said that's the part that they remember the most. So I was wrong. I was wrong.
I don't want to get too deep. Yeah, that's how that came about.
You know what? I was just thinking.
Really Michael Jackson climb every mountain. It was really Michael Jackson swim every sea. Remember that song Michael Jackson sang? And really, I know. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, I'm like right Calabasas, Woodland Hills area.
Okay. I used to live out in Redondo Beach in the 90s. And yeah, so, okay.
We wanted to live in Redondo Beach growing up. Even though it's still nice right now, you couldn't afford it though.
I lived in Redondo Beach when K-Day was on AM.
Okay.
Remember when K-Day was on AM? Huh?
Can you see me?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I can see you well. What's up, brother?
Oh, I see you good too. That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was in Redondo Beach when K-Day the radio station, the hip hop, it was AM. Remember when it was AM? Back in like the late 80s, early 90s?
Is that when I used to take you out
Redondo? Yeah, remember? Yeah.
Oh,
we was kids. Okay. Yeah.
Wow, goodness. Okay. Yeah, and I moved there in 99. And then I bought a house in Culver City on Overland, right near Sony Studios, and I was there up to.
Yeah. That was right there too. That was one of your other spots.
Yeah, I lived on Melville. Yeah, I lived on Melville.
Okay,
that was my house. I had a house on Melville.
Okay.
Yeah, all we did was my boy worked at Hidden Beach, and he was like my best friend.
Okay, I remember Albie Show. That's the was that Michael Jordan sort of?
Yeah, that was Jordan's label. So. Yeah. That was the first time I smoked a Cuban. Was with Jordan and Lennox Lewis.
Okay.
But Mike was A&R. Me and Mike was real tight with Mike Angelo also. You remember Mike Parker, Steve's cousin Mike?
Yeah. How's Mike?
Mike's good, man. Mike's good. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. We used to run hip hop every day and play knockout in the backyard basketball.
Oh my goodness. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I might as well start introductions and stuff. I'm glad you're both here. My name's Nnamdi. I'm out here in the UK, so it's about 9:30 at night.
Okay. What's happening?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you.
What's up, London?
We love it.
Yes, yeah. The UK loves. I think just because. Especially we don't have as many R&B and artists, and so when you guys come around, it's like, we're flooding to see and appreciate, and still have always loved, the old stuff, but also embrace the new stuff as well. Yes.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I'm a therapist by trade, and I've been doing this for 5 years. I started during lockdown. And after 200 guests, I'm surprised I'm still going on, but it's great to have you guys on.
You too. I'm glad you said that, man, because me and Mike both need therapy. We need family therapy, man. Thank you.
All right.
You know how brothers are, man. That's my brother right there. So we need to sit down with you.
Yeah, I mean, part of what initially this started off, especially during lockdown, talking to people, the artists like yourselves, to think, the highs of the industry and how you guys dealt with the lows and how you guys have recovered. And it was a way of trying to have the average person who watches to think, be inspired by even people in the spotlight had their struggles and they dealt with it. And almost as a sense of inspiration, because listening to over 200 guests talk about being in the music industry, I think we're used to the fact that it wasn't all guns, it wasn't all smiles and roses for you guys on the inside, as we would think from the outside. So,
Oh, no. I mean, a lot of people, they see all they see is the glams and grits, and they see, fancy houses, fancy cars, everything looking all fine. But, you know, we're all human beings and we go through the same thing. I mean, unfortunately, like during COVID, the guys kind of know me. I was always kind of an introvert. So when I was by myself, I actually got more done. I didn't feel I didn't go through anything. It was beautiful for me. Yeah, I didn't really feel anything. But the business is a very hard business. It's the reward is nice, but you got what does Sly Stone say? You got to get to it. You got to get through it to get to it.
Yeah, but then I guess the thing is, does it? I don't know what it's like to be, sing in front of the Apollo, do massive tours, be on TV, but how does being famous um, affect your day to day? I mean, is that does it give you a false sense of um of security that doesn't last when it stops?
Answer that, Phil. You got a good answer, Phil. We'll probably answer different, but what do you think, Phil?
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, it gives you a false sense of security, of grandeur, of you know, it,
I think he froze.
Something happened.
Yeah, I think he froze.
kind of
Okay.
really
Yeah.
do this music, do music at the level that we do.
Mhm.
Once you get up to the level that we do, like we were signed to Quincy Jones. So, once you get up to that level, it's kind of like rare air. So, try to explain or talk to somebody
Oh.
music and the way that we approach music and the way that we music they do now. It's it's just a different world. It really is. That's the easiest
Yeah,
way. That's the best way I could say it. Like, because Mike and I are still
yeah.
really creative and we still do a lot of music. And Mike was like, "Well, Phil, you should work with young artists." And like, because I didn't like working with these
He hated working with anybody else. He was so used to anything that I
young
did. I was like, man, you got to go out and work with other people
young
too.
guys. I was like, "Nah, it's gonna be." But Mike encouraged me. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
But
yeah, so that's
remember
really what
when
to
we
me. That's what.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. Mhm.
oh, no, I was just gonna say how we came in. We were writing all our stuff. So like um, that was a big responsibility because we had to write songs and we were writing 3 and 4 versions of each song until we got satisfied. So all of us were like, okay, this is hot. And then you had to get opinion from your record company. And so it was a lot of pressure, but I didn't feel the pressure to feel the juice. I didn't feel it. It was because we were young, we were having fun, but that was a hell of
Yeah.
a responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't really. I don't think looking back at it now, we didn't really take it as serious as maybe we should have. I
Mhm.
think a lot of times Mike and I, you know, it came so naturally to us. Writing songs was like it was so. It's still easy. Like that's just what we do. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and we had a formula, man. Like,
Yeah.
we all touched it. We all touched the song. Every song that we did on our albums, we all played a part, and we touched it a certain way. And when everybody didn't touch it, we kind of knew the difference because we knew who was good at these kind of parts, and this person could sing this kind of part, and this person could do this. And so, I think personally, we should have got more in television, more stuff in television.
Mhm.
Um, You know what I mean? Instead of just phonograph records, more stuff in television, even though we end up doing a lot of stuff, but
Yeah,
it's,
I don't know Mike's being modest. We did a lot of movies. We did like 15 movies, Mike. We did like 10 TV shows. We did the Olympics.
I know, but it's just, you know, when you look back, you wish, the TV life is the TV publishing life.
You just want that check. Yeah, you just wanted that theme song check. I got you.
You know what? We were all humble. We all had parents from the South. And so we took it pretty good, even though it was a big responsibility. I remember when me and Phillip were in the car and we first heard Here We Go Again on a radio station. We were in the car together and it was like, what? Man, look how good that sounds.
Mike's being modest. I'm gonna tell you what happens. Me and Mike were coming up Highland at 5:00 in the afternoon. And we had just found out that we had knocked out Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You on radio for spins for that week. I think we had got like 3,000 spins or something crazy like that, something crazy. And at 5:00, we hit every radio station in LA. Like we hit like 7 radio stations our song was on. That's what happened.
Wow.
Yeah, details. So, it was
that was the like come to it moment, like, yo, we number one. You know what I'm saying? Like we're number one. Like we going platinum. We doing, we doing our thing,
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll get to the song and stuff, but I guess part of the journey is really where you guys were born and raised, because we've got an international audience and they all like to sort of find out with the origin story. So I could probably start with you, Phil. Where were you born and raised?
I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was born.
Sooners? Oh, you Sooners?
Yeah, I was born on this street. I was born in this neighborhood called Greenwood, where Black Wall Street is.
Oh wow, goodness! Did you know about that growing up? The story.
Of course. I mean, my great grandfather, my great grandmother, they all ran from that night. They all got to Kansas City. Wow. Yeah, my great uncle Bucky was a hustler, pool shark, and he made a lot of money back then. And my great grandfather and my grandmother all came with the tribe, with the Cherokee tribe. So we're what we call freedmen. Mm. So my grandmother lived on Greenwood, and I grew up on Greenwood, and then they moved us out north after that. So I'm from Tulsa.
Okay.
The way that I got into the way that for this, because my cousin Andre and Casey, who are the sons of Robert Wilson from the Gap Band.
Yes.
So the Gap Band that's the tree that I come from. They introduced me to Mike. And Mike was like, yo, Phil, like we can write hits together. I'll never forget it. I still remember that day. And that's when I decided to.
You keep breaking up, Phil.
Got important.
I think you keep
somebody else's album.
Oh, you keep breaking up, Phil. So you mentioned about the cousins from the Gap Band, and then you just broke up.
You still, Kenny?
Oh,
yeah. So, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Andre was working on Suave's album. Can you hear me? Yeah, Andre's working on Suave's album, and he called me. So Mike heard my demos, and he was like, "Yo, Phil, these are dope," and I had just gotten out of high school, and he was like, "Yo, come out here." So the rest is history. So I came to LA.
I know that some of the kids from the Gap Band, they were their producers as well. Were they into
yeah, my cousins Jelly and Tovin, Brian.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, Jelly Roll, Black Tovin, Brian, Casey, they all producers. I've done a bunch of stuff with them too. We did a title track for the movie Waist Deep. We worked on Biker Boys together. We did I've done a bunch of stuff with them also.
Okay.
So
the first time I heard about them was when I interviewed Crystal Johnson. I don't know if you know Crystal Johnson from she was
my cousin. Yeah, of course. I know Crystal.
Okay, so Crystal was talking about them, and because she moved to West to work with them, and then she went back East. So as soon as you mentioned, I just wondered if you did. Okay, so that's good.
Yeah, I work with Penny Ford when I first came out, Mike. When I was like 17, 18, I was in the studio with Penny Ford first, Mike. Mm-hmm. And then I had to go back, and then Mike called me like 2 months later. Like, they called me.
You came out before you? Oh, I know that.
Yeah. I came out and worked with Penny Ford. Uncle Ronnie put us in the studio first with Penny Ford, and I worked with her and another artist. I worked on their albums first, and then I came back. That's why Dre called you.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Okay. Yeah. So before I move to Mike, then Phil, I guess knowing that are you what, 6'4", or how tall are you?
Yeah, I am. I'm a legit 6'3 3/4. I
Okay,
just got
6'3".
measured the other day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Mike is but look though, Mike's taller than me, man.
no. Okay,
Mike is taller than me. You know that, right?
I didn't
Six
realize that.
four. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm
You
a,
know Mike's taller than me, right?
Yeah, okay, no, I didn't realize that, but
Yeah.
okay. But I'm
I'm gonna
saying
start
this
wearing
because
lifts.
how come you didn't get into, I mean, most of us would assume once you're over 6'2", you know, college, high school basketball, going college and going that route.
played, we played in a
Me and
celebrity
Mike,
game.
yo, me and Mike, look, I'm gonna tell you the truth, Mike. I'm gonna say it. We terrorized all the celebs. We played serious. We played some serious basketball. Garfield played with us too a few times, and everybody from the entertainment league. But everybody knew if we was playing, it was on. You know,
Yeah.
Mike had like a 35, 36 inch vertical leap.
Okay.
So Mike
Yeah,
could
we was,
Mike could put his elbow in the rim. Mike could get up. He could jump.
Okay, but before I go to Mike though, Phil, were you good enough to play in high school and probably,
Yeah, I played high school ball and I played AAU ball. Yep, I was good enough.
but music was more the passion?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of had a raw talent when I came in. I just could write and sing and play. I mean, I could write and sing.
Mm.
And Mike was like, "Yo, you know." But the thing about me was I was raw. I wasn't as polished and as a professional as Mike and Eric were, and they had to bring me along a little bit. You know, coming
Okay.
in. Shout out to Eric, man. Eric really helped me a lot. Eric Kirkland helped me a lot to be more professional and be a better musician. I will say that.
Okay, but then and also just before I move to, I mean, you're around what, 17 when you moved out west?
Yeah, 18. Yep.
18. Okay, so what did your parents say when you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna move out west? Is it like, yeah, okay, take care?
Yep. Nah, they was like, yeah, whatever, you'll be back. Yeah, I never came back.
Okay, okay, okay. Wow. Okay. Um, and then and then when you moved out west, how did they introduce you to Mike then?
My
you
cousin
get to meet.
Andre was working with Mike on a project for Capital.
Yes, I heard
And
about
he
Suave.
called me and said, yo, come out. So
When you
that's
get
what
to me,
happened.
I can tell you the whole
Yeah,
story when
Mike
you
can
get.
tell you the story.
All
Mike
Okay.
can
right,
tell
yeah,
you the story.
Go
Yeah,
ahead there, Mike. I
yeah.
mean, but before you tell the
so
story there, Mike, where you are you from the West Coast?
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm originally from South Central LA.
Okay.
yeah.
Born and raised. The group started out here. Me and Eric put the group together when I was 17, 16, 17, 15, 17, somewhere around that line. Yeah. And so, again, just kind of through mutual friends, and I'll get to the Phillip story, which was Andre Wilson and the Gap Band sons. And we found out about Phil, and that's the Phil connection. But I'll get into that more as you ask me questions. But yeah, originally from Los Angeles, and the group started in Los Angeles.
So growing up in LA then, I guess what was it like? Because I hear different stories from depending on who I interview. So Chucky Booker gives his story. Um, Dimitri
I
Ship,
mean,
gives his story. So everyone I talk to from LA has a different upbringing about how what they
um,
faced. For you, how was it for you?
crack when crack came in,
Mm.
um, when one day you would look at your neighbor and the next day he's outside naked because he just tried some PCP, gang banging. And I lived in the area where it was two rival gang bangers, the Rolling 60s and the A-Trays, which are rivalries still. And I lived in between. And even if I tell people it was traumatizing because one of my favorite colors was red, but where I grew up, you couldn't buy red. Back then, if you wore a certain color, you can get killed, not just beat up. You would get killed if you wore red in the neighborhood or if you wore blue in the wrong neighborhood. So it was very gang infested. Even if you had grounded parents, your mother and father were there like mine were, you still had to pick a side. So you weren't a gangbanger. You weren't even affiliated, but because you were part of that side, you had to You had to pick the side that you were on.
Wow.
And that's how I was growing up in LA.
Uh, Did it change just overnight? I mean, because it seems as if life was fine and did the crack change overnight, or would the gangs get worse overnight? Did it just feel as if it just one day just got worse?
It had periods of where it died down. I mean, they went through different versions. Like gangbangers were, like dance crews at that time were getting initiated as gangbangers. Gangbangers started turning into drug dealers. So it seemed like it was calm, and then it went kind of back and forth. It was always the gangbangers, drug dealers switching off and on. So it never really changed. It's still that way right now in South Central LA. But you just kind of know how to navigate, or you have to learn how to navigate.
As a kid, then, how do you avoid getting tempted to get involved in that?
They knew me. They knew I was the kid. I had the keyboard, and I could play all the top 40 songs on the radio on the keyboard. They were like, "Leave Mike alone." Mike, somebody. I mean, the gangbangers they were different. They were actually athletic then. Monster Cody, I can think of the name. Tookie. Those dudes would play football and basketball with us. They were actually athletic and could play, but they knew people's families, and they knew not to mess with, like, Mike is good. Mike don't do like that. Mr. Saulsberry, no. So they were like that. They actually knew who they could manipulate and get in and who not to mess with. Okay. I was one of them.
Okay. Where did you learn how to play and get into music?
I always had an ear. My dad was a vocalist in the group called the Penguins, who did the famous song Earth Angel. That's historic.
Okay.
Yeah, my father, is in that group, and he joined in '66. So my dad had the ear. My mom had the ear too. And I just happened to have the instrumentation ever since I was like 7 years old. Like, I knew what I wanted to be at 7. Like, I could tell people I wanted to meet. I even said I wanted to meet Quincy Jones one of these days. I mean, it was, yeah. And see, let me tell you this other thing, because the group started with me and Eric. Eric was part of a gang too, a Mexican gang, 18th Street. He'll tell you, yeah.
Is that Eric? I thought he was black.
Yeah, but there was certain members that they let in. And so when I met Eric when I was 15, 16, it was his idea, to, but I want to go deep to it. Basically, I'm going to say this. I haven't said this in a long time, but producer of Tupac, his name is Johnny J, who passed away, committed suicide, or they say he did.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. We were production partners in high school. And Johnny called me up out of the blue and said he didn't want to work together with me no more. He wanted to do it by himself. And that's when he produced Candyman. That was a good friend. And I was really hurt behind. I thought we were going to produce music together for the rest of our lives. And I met Eric, and Eric said, "Man, no, don't worry about that. Let's just start a group called Portrait." And so Eric is from LA too.
Yeah, okay.
And by the way, we want to say this too. We're all of us are still cool. We talk to the guys, they know about this, and they're just doing their own things, but we're all cool.
Okay, yeah. Eric and Irv, okay. Oh, I interviewed Warren Campbell, and he said that on the All Eyes on Me, 17 of those tracks, he's the one playing all of the stuff, but he didn't get his credits because Suge says, "No, if you're not going to give me your publishing, then you're not going to get any of the." Okay, so
but he was playing keys, and Johnny J was programming beats, and
Johnny was just yeah. So I
can name like 7 guys that did that.
Okay, because what Warren says that but Johnny was more the beat programmer, but he unlike say Quick, who's a producer, but so he's doing all the stuff. Okay.
I was so imagine me and Johnny J. I was playing all the keyboards.
Okay.
Yeah. And so rest in peace. It hurt me. But I met Eric, and Eric was just like a local musician, kind of doing rock music and funk like Jesse Johnson and stuff like that. When we met, it was this idea, and so it was formed actually maybe 5 years before we came out.
Was it initially formed as a production stuff, or was it formed as a group?
No, production.
Okay.
We were going to production. We were going to it's weird. We were going to actually the first group we were going to produce was a group called the Good Girls.
Yeah, Joyce and
Joyce, yeah. And then we went over there. We went over there and met her manager, and then we met Suave, and that's another story. And that's when Phil and them came. Yeah.
Okay. I am.
That's when the A-Team showed up.
Okay. Okay. Oh, you didn't get to produce. I've interviewed. Yeah, you didn't get to produce the Good Girls. You got Suave instead.
We met Suave, and he wanted us to do his album. And so as we were forming together as a writing production team, that's when we met Andre Wilson, and he introduced me to Phillip, and then that's when we brought Phillip in. So that's how everything. Portrait was a production team at first, but the record company heard our demos and they were like, "Man, y'all need to become a group." That's how we formed.
Okay, but then when Phil, when you joined, were you still planning to be writing and producing with them, or did you even think about singing?
No, I wanted to sing and I wanted to write. I mean, I really wanted to write with Mike. Mike was my selling point. It was like Mike was like, I wanted to write with Mike, and I wanted to write with Dre, and me and Dre had been writing together since we were kids. But Mike had a really great touch with the musical side and the arrangements and the lush sounds and bass lines. And I was just like, I can write to this music. I felt something when he played it. And, that's it. I was in.
Okay. Yeah. So, but then, Mike, why did you need, if you and Eric were already, doing the production writing, why did you just want to expand and bring in Phil?
What was the question again? I'm so sorry.
I came in with some, but you got to understand something. I came in with some heaters though. Came in, I brought like 4 dope songs to finish the album. So Mike was like, "Yo, I like your songs. I like those songs you wrote."
Okay.
Yeah. I came in with Perfect and One and Only.
Was your question why we brought Phillip in?
Yeah, because I think if you were like an LA Babyface or Jim and Terry, you might like
at the time, we were writing together as two, but we performed because it was Andre Wilson. It was so many people part of that team. Andre Wilson, Swamana Brown was another
camp.
Yeah, it was the writing camp. We heard about Atlanta. We heard about like Atlanta and with all their writing camps and all the people that they had. So we were trying to get a whole bunch of writers together, and we got our A-team together, like Phil said, and we just ended up becoming a group.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you guys.
I came in also because they had gotten stuck a little bit on the end of the album. So on the end of the album, I came in and I wrote 4 songs with Mike. Me and Mike went in there and we knocked out some incredible work. And I think that was the catalyst to us starting to build that bond and growing together. We started growing together after that. It was like, yo, we can write.
Whether therapy comes in that we need, we didn't get stuck. We didn't get stuck on anything. It was supposed to be a production team, and we heard how good Phillip was. And this is before we did the group thing, right? So this is before, because I remember calling Phillip and I said, I just talked about writing. I didn't say anything about the group, huh? I just said we could just write.
You just said, come write some hits.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Come on and let's write some hits. That's what you said.
Yeah. And so, because we had another portrait. Portrait used to be 5 of us.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's another story. And then, like you said, the A-team was set up, and the company was like, "You guys do some great demos for Suave. Y'all should be a group."
Was it a case where were you modeling yourself after LA and Babyface and Jimmy and Terry? Who were who did you model your top?
Jimmy and Terry, them, huh? Stucky Booker.
Me and Mike talk about that all the time. That was it.
Jimmy Jam.
Okay, Jimmy Jam.
Yeah, Chucky. Yeah.
Now let me tell you this other story.
Babyface.
Let me tell you the other story. So after, because I want to throw Irvin in so he'll know. And we brought Irvin in the same way. We had heard about him from the East Coast through mutual friends. Our engineer, the guy we were working with at the time, he was our engineer who taught me a lot of stuff. Paul Arnold. I got a friend on the East Coast who'd be great to work with you guys. And that's how Irvin came in. So we were kind of pulled together from these different people.
Okay. Okay.
And Swamana and Bright Eyes were really important too. I'll say that too, if you don't mind, Mike. I mean, Swoop was fantastic. He was a phenomenal piano player and vocalist. He had a real strong baritone, second tenor. I mean, he was just incredible. But he fell in love with one of the writers.
Yeah.
In the middle of us working together, he fell in love with one of the writers, a beautiful young lady named Bright Eyes. And he stopped coming to the studio. He just stopped coming to the studio.
Yeah, it was really 5 of us. We were signed as 5 people. Yeah. And so, see, people don't know the story. Swamana was basically kind of like the lead singer because he was real talented. He could sing. He did everything.
He sang like JoJo and Casey.
Wow.
Yeah. Which
it was a different group.
It was a blessing in disguise because when we had to get rid of, I hate using that word, but when we had to eliminate him, my mind was like, damn, we got used to this strong type of voice. What we gonna do to stand out? And then I said, wait a minute, we got some real smooth voices. And Phillip, we had to put Phillip on the spot. I was like, man, some of these joints you're gonna have to sing lead on now. I said, Irvin gonna sing lead too, of course. I said, you're gonna sing some, I thought I was putting him on the spot. I put that pressure cooker on you, boy. I said, yeah, because we gotta do something different. We gotta change our sound. And so our sound ended up changing.
I was like, let's go. Yeah.
Okay.
To me, it made us a lot more creative because we had to be creative because Swamana was like a cheat code. He could sing anything. He could sing high, low, medium. He could sing anywhere. His voice was like he was like R. Kelly. Like he could sing.
Yeah.
Wow. But with a talent like that, there
he
was
could
no
go. You know what I'm saying? Like more creative.
Yeah, but with a talent like that, was there no incentive to try and work things out? I mean, I just don't know. I mean, just
love.
He wasn't interested. He fell in love with his girl, and his girl was love would do a funny thing, huh, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, what it was, if you think about it, I'm gonna keep it real. She didn't like the fact that she probably thought we had a lot of girls around, so it made her feel uncomfortable, and so he had to make the choice. We gave it up to him to give him a choice. So I'm gonna pick her.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we did have a lot of girls though. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. So okay. So when you named the group Portrait, you named the production Portrait. It wasn't the group singer. It was like Portrait Production. Was that it?
Yeah, it was like Portrait Productions.
Yep.
And if we just decided, like the one state capital said that you guys would like what you did on Suave, you guys should form a group. We just kept it as Portrait.
Okay. Was Tracy Spencer still at Capitol when you were there?
Yeah. We were supposed to produce her too. That's our girl. That's our man. We met her. She was 14.
Yes. Tracy Spencer. Yeah, she family.
Okay. Yeah.
BB and CeCe Winans, Phil Perry. What was her name that sang? Rochelle Farrell.
Okay.
They were all my label mates.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. I remember I worked briefly at Edmond Entertainment, which was just across the street. Yeah. Okay, Hammer.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
So you worked at Edmond.
Yeah.
So you knew Dick Griffey and did you ever meet Dick Griffey?
Well, no, yeah, but no, this is when Edmonds, when Tracy was running the building. So this was like 2001 or 2002.
Was over there and with they sang that song Last Night. He was over there.
Oh,
Who else is over there?
Mark.
Was John B over there yet?
Yeah, John B was there. As yet, yeah, we're around.
As
But
yet. Yeah.
we had a group called Third Story that was signed. Yeah, the group
Yeah.
called Third Story. Okay. Um,
Remember
so,
them too.
yeah. Okay. So when you did you always have ambitions to sing, or were you just content with the writing part and producing when you joined
No,
up
I
with?
sang, I sang, no, I sang lead in my band. I had a band called The New, which consists of uh four guys in high school: Tim Love, Gerard Easley, Perry Scholes, and John McConnell. John McConnell and unfortunately Tim Love have passed away.
Wow.
But my band initially was in high school, and we rehearsed every other day, and we played live around town. So right in high school, we started doing demos, and people started hearing my demos. I sang the lead, and I wrote the songs, and that's what really got me started. You
Okay.
know,
I,
and then I
yeah.
started working with Craig Rice. Craig Rice sent me out to Minneapolis with Brown Mark and the Revolution and all of that, and I was supposed to sign to them first.
Hmm.
That was my first offer, but I came home and I started doing demos again, and like I said, I hooked up with Mike, and that was it.
Did who was your growing up then musical the people that you looked up to, either vocally or writing style?
From LA and me being from Oklahoma, but the Gap Band was huge when I was a little kid, so we got to go on tour a little bit, and I was around those guys a lot.
Oh,
I got a lot of real incredible musicians. Everybody influenced me. I was a musical head. So, Michael tell you, I supported hip hop when hip hop was like, it was really in its early stages. Like Mike would always laugh at me, like, and I supported other artists because if I like the music, I just support them. I go see them. I'll pay for tickets. I get their merch. Like,
He would, let me tell you, when we would be in the studio, he would leave the
never hated
session.
on nobody. I like.
Still there, Phil?
yeah. I think Phil, your stuff is cuts in and out,
What'd
so
you say?
that's yeah. Your stuff
What?
cuts in and out.
What'd you say, Mike?
I was saying that when you would leave the session, you would go to Jamaica House because it was always a hip hop. Because I was into it, but I was into it from the West Coast perspective, right? But Phil hit me up
Oh,
to all the hip hop stuff on the East Coast. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, and we'll probably talk about um that there was a bias between West Coast R&B and it getting exposure on the East Coast. Um, but just before that though, did knowing you were in R&B and production, did you know people like Chucky and Warren Campbell and Quick and those guys
Oh,
growing up as a
let me
kid?
tell you the story. I got to tell you the story. When we first,
hell yeah, that was in the studio with them.
our first
Second
session
time
was
y'all use
with Chucky
SSL.
Booker.
Oh, go ahead,
Yeah,
Mike.
we see Chucky Booker. Yeah, we were in a room when we were recording our first album. Chucky Booker was next door. We seen him do Spread My Wings right in front of our face.
Are you serious?
Um, he- oh yeah, I
Air
mean,
LA.
yeah, I mean, Chucky Booker is personally one of my greatest inspirations to be able to be a producer and be successful, a writer and be successful, a music conductor and be successful. And we learned a lot from him. We learned that mixing board, a lot of things from Chucky Booker. Shout out.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I'll
Mhm.
send him a message. I
SSL.
didn't realize I should have told. I didn't know you knew him. I would have sent him a message to tell
Oh,
him.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about
Yeah.
someone like D. Vance?
D. Levance. Okay, that's Eric knew him
Yeah, he'll
first.
tell you.
Eric introduced us, yeah, to D.
D
Levance. So that was
Levance.
Eric. That's
Eric knew him
Eric.
first. He sure
Yeah,
did.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Another
in fact,
incredible dude.
Yeah.
D. Levance is talented.
yeah. No, I had both of them. And
It
no,
is
yeah,
hilarious.
yeah. Chucky, I see almost every year when he comes to the UK and stuff. But like D. Vance talked about being the difference between West Coast R&B and stuff. Even Zulu. Did you know Mike? from Zulu?
Z-Look?
Yes.
Z-Look. I mean, know of them, but not know them personally. Know of them.
Z-Look.
Yeah. So they were another sort of West Coast, West Coast group. Okay, but but for yourself, Mike, who were your sort of people that you were looking at? Because I know Phil talked about the Gap Band being from Oklahoma, but for
Oh
yourself,
my man, let me tell you, my dad had me listening to. I grew up on Steely Dan, Earth, Wind and
Steely.
Fire,
Oh wow.
Elton John, not just the black soul singers. My pops had me listening to Queen. Like I have tons of influences. That's why I can always go different places.
Mm.
Um, so growing up listening to them, I mean, it's man, Swing Out Sister, Omar from the UK.
Yeah,
Philip hit
yeah.
me to Philip hit me to Omar when I was 18 years old. Yeah, Omar's, and that's when and him and Philip are friends. Like,
Okay.
That's my brother, man.
Well, I guess.
yeah,
I mean, Omar's been singing for so long, I didn't realize that he was that old.
That's my bro, man.
Okay.
He was just here. He was just here. He was just here 2 months ago. He was
Okay.
just here 2 months. He was just here 2 months ago. He used to come to my house. Yeah, when he came to LA. Like that's my homeboy. Him and my brother are real tight. Him and my brother Rick. Yeah.
Wow.
yeah,
Okay. And so,
yeah.
and then were you also looking to be like an LA and Babyface, Jimmy and Terry, or were you? What was your production wise
My
difference?
favorite,
Me and Mike used to ride, and Mike had a black Corvette, and we used to get the Escapade, the Janet Jackson, and
what album was that?
just listen to the production that Jimmy and Terry did for with Escapade and what else?
What's the album? What album was that? Is that Real
That was
Nation?
Rhythm Nation. Yeah, that was Rhythm Nation.
That Janet Jackson.
Yeah,
1492, yeah, Rhythm Nation.
Yeah.
Me and Mike
yeah,
we dissected that album. We dissected the production on that album.
yeah. Like on and on our first album, we wanted to. Jimmy Jam, they had a warmthness. It was also the mixing
Yeah.
board that they used called Harrison. They had a warmthness to their production. But growing up for me, I wanted to be like Quincy Jones.
Mm.
That's why I really wanted to. That's why when we signed with him, it was like our highlight because for him to be interested in us. Now we felt validated when he signed us.
Quincy signed us. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
The question I had, because this is a debate, if Quincy hadn't done Thriller, would he still be considered one of the greatest producers?
I think so. I mean, because he had so much film and television.
What about? Hold on, Mike. Let me. Yeah.
What
about love? What about Love Times Love with George Benson? What about the Dude album? What about? I mean, come on, man. Off the Wall. Don't get me
Brothers
started.
Johnson?
Like it's Brothers Johnson. I mean, those albums are incredible, man. Like the production is crazy.
Soul,
but
over.
Yeah. What about the soul? What about all the charts he wrote out? You know what I'm saying? With Frank Sinatra, like the dude was something else, man. I miss him too.
Yeah.
He was, man. Me and Mike got a funny story about vodka cranberry and KFC at Quincy's house.
Okay.
I ain't gonna tell it right now, but me and Mike went up to Quincy's house one time. I mean, that dude was funny. I'll leave it at that. We had a good time.
I know maybe some people may think without Thriller, but if you really knew his body of work, I mean, it's just, you can't arrange for Frank Sinatra 17 years old. And like, you can't have charts and you have your own soul bossa nova and all the television shows from Sanford and Son. I mean, the dude has like 90 nominations. I don't know how many Grammys he has, 60, something like that. He's number one.
Yeah, that's an answer. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Plus, all the people you got to look at Quincy's tree. You got to look at the artists that Quincy worked with: Tevin Campbell, Tamia, El DeBarge. I could go on and on. Working with Rod Temperton and Bruce Swedeen and Greg Fillinganes and all these incredible musicians, like and they all respected it. Everybody loved him. So
yeah, and he's a cool guy. Very, very cool guy. Very
he was.
Yeah, he would throw gems at you. He'll go, silence is a note, Mike. Like if you think you're working and you putting too much in, he said, stop, that's too much. He says, silence is a note, it's just silent. And I'm like, what do you mean? He says, because when you're silent, it gives more passion when it comes back in. So it makes it more of an impact when you come back in if you stay silent sometimes. And that gives songs dynamics. I'll never forget that. Never, ever.
Wow. Yeah, I think I think for those of us who are not musicians or singers and songwriters or producers, as a, you know, we know Quincy because he produced the two biggest selling albums ever. So it became like, oh, and then anytime when he passed, they always would say he did Thriller, he did Bad, he worked with
Yeah,
Michael. So that's what the average person knows about him. But I guess if
yeah,
you're in the game, you probably will see his body of work from a different perspective.
yep, for
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
we
Oh,
seeing it from a whole different perspective. Because so, a lot of what we hear, even you're not even gonna hear it. It might take you 20 years to hear what we hear.
Yeah,
It might
yeah.
take you a long time to get there because most people don't listen to music the way that we listen to music and the way that we approach music.
yeah.
So, and that's what we did learn from Quincy. And then what I learned from Quincy was the professionalism and the level of
Oh, he keeps cutting off.
Uh-uh.
and what he did that about him. Just his approach to getting projects done. That's what I learned from him, and I learned that from Mike. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So just moving it then from the time um when you finish the Suave stuff and Capital say, you know what, why don't you guys put a demo? No, are you signed publishing to Quest and then Capital offering you an album deal, or what was the arrangement?
Same time. We had a published deal with Quincy, a deal with Capitol as a group. We had a
We had
production
a
deal with,
production deal.
yeah, all that happened at the same time. We signed all that at the same time.
Oh goodness,
We had like 5 deals at one time.
okay. So
Yeah.
who was the business person who understood your contracts, the terms and conditions, the
Well, let's go back to a favorite, Joy Bailey. Joy Bailey, who's really responsible for. She looked out, and that's not the business. That's just the person who loved our music and who would go to bat for us. She was A&R at Capitol Records, so she believed in us and introduced us to all those different people. But we had different lawyers, Mickey Shapiro, we had Jeff
Barry,
Ingber,
Jeff
yeah,
Ingber, Barry,
Barry
Barry.
Rosenthal. He was New Kids of the Block's lawyer.
Yeah.
So we had
He
solid representation.
he took us out. He took us out one night and charged us for
Drinks.
oh, okay. Did you guys then start to
offered to
understand?
take us out and charged us for one night. You remember that, Mike?
Well, I couldn't believe it.
What'd you
That's when
say?
we knew. I said, "Man, this business is business." That's when I learned,
Yeah,
like,
this is
okay,
business, is business. We got the bill
yeah,
like a month later. I was like, "What's this bill for $5,000, Mike?" Mike was like, "That's
Five.
that R&B. We went to R&B Live that night."
yeah,
Yeah, we paid
Wow.
for it.
So,
that's funny.
did you guys get to learn the business quick enough before you signed off, or did you come did it come afterwards like 99% of R&B acts?
Yeah, we got messed around on some deals. We sure did, because we were learning, we were doing music, and it was fun. And a lot of times, to be honest, some of the discrepancies that we would get in with Phillip came in more like, man, they're fucking us around. We shouldn't be doing this. And we were like, man, you're fucking, oh, you're killjoy. What, come on, we're trying to do this. And so that's when we had, but retrospectively thinking, when he would see stuff and he was just like, man, the business ain't right. Somebody's fucking us over. We shouldn't be doing this. And we were the ones who were like, So we kind of learned on the fly. And, we're getting that stuff back now, but yeah, we were learning on the fly. We didn't know a lot of stuff.
What, Philip? How did you then? How did you keep your eyes on the pulse that you could tell what was happening?
coming from the Gap Band, I mean, I seen what happened with them over at Solar and all of that. I knew about the business coming in. I mean, I was cast member. I already knew about publishing and writers, and I just did the numbers. I paid Mike. Mike was an introvert. Like Mike, when Mike tells you he was an introvert, he was more introvert. He was. I'm an extrovert. I'm always up in something. I'm always trying to figure stuff out. I'm always, checking it out. And I just started really paying attention to the business, and I started telling Mike.
Oh, he's gonna.
Would get mad at me all the time. Mike would be like, "Phil, bro, like you're doing too much." But it really started getting to a head probably right around 95, 96 after we finished Mike and we finished All That Matters. Because me and Mike really did a stellar job on that. I think we did something else too, Mike. We did a couple TV. We did a couple of movies. We did a couple of movies. We did a couple of soundtracks.
We can't.
And we produced you and you and I produced. We produced UNV too. We did 2 songs for them for one of their albums. Remember that?
I mean, yeah. So what happened was, when he brings up All That Matters, we had started traveling after that first album. I was always loving the Fender Rhodes. I just love the Fender Rhodes. So Phil liked to sit down with me when I was playing the Fender Rhodes and just kind of write and go over ideas. That's kind of how All That Matters developed. Again, all of our albums we all wrote, but we knew who was specific with certain things. We can go to one person and say, "Hey, man, we missing something. Can you add this little this?" We knew who would be stronger. Even though sometimes when you're writing songs together, I was in the middle. I would be like, "Man, Phillip, you singing too much. Irvin ain't got enough. Aaron ain't got enough."
Mike made me get my songs up, man. I wasn't gonna bring it up. Mike made me give some of my songs up. I was mad.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I was trying to keep the peace. Remember, me and Eric grew up together, so that we grew up together.
I wanted to do. Yeah.
Nah, I just want to clear it up.
We was doing Heartstrings, and I had finished Heartstrings, and it was just me and Mike. I was done with it. I was like, okay, can't wait to come back in and do the demo, and I mean, to do the. You got to get that song up, and I was, and I just was, I was really hurt behind that. It really hurt me to give up some of the material that we did, because I felt like me and Mike had worked so hard on it, and we had something, it was a magic that was there. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't be recaptured, but
And see, I'm from, and I was, like I said, since
I was fine with it. I was like, you know what? Let's just keep it.
For me, we were all, it was new. It was a brotherhood. Like I grew up with brothers, but I grew up with my father's previous marriage brothers. So I didn't see them till I was like 16. So when we did the group, they were like my brothers. So I'm in the middle of shit. So it's like, if Eric said, "Man, I want to sing this," and let's say Eric's voice wasn't strong enough or the right tone, I had to be in the one in the middle and like, okay, well, Phillip wants to sing it, and Eric might be like, "Well, but I want to sing it because like there's some stuff that Eric wrote, but just because you wrote it, that don't mean your voice is gonna be right for it too." So you actually handicap in the group, because like just because you wrote something, that don't mean it's for you. Somebody else might be able to deliver it. So we had to go through shit like that, and that's what made me in the middle of our, But see, as we're standing right now, that's why a lot of times me and Phillip keep going on to try to, like, we're cool with the guys, and we ask them, do they want to do other projects? And, they didn't really want to do it. So me and Phillip are just kind of keeping it going and keeping the sound going.
How do you deal with the dynamics of a group? Because when I spoke with Carl Groove Mountain from Shy, when he reflects back on being the main writer of the, like, If I Ever Fall in Love and all those hits, and they come to the second album and it's like, yeah, let's share, let's all get involved. He said at the time he didn't reflect on the importance of bringing everyone in. It was like, well, I write the hits. Let me keep writing the hits, but not knowing that actually for longevity, everyone needs to feel a part of it. How did you guys deal with that? When you did come out with your debut album and making sure that everyone feels that they're part of it and no one just tries to do.
Everybody felt a part of that first album, Phil. Everybody that was all of us on that first album. Everybody felt comfortable. It was weird, man. The first album felt different recording. It's hard to explain. Like, we didn't really know about the dynamic. All we knew was if I came up with a track, the guys would sit around, would write, and whoever had the best shit got on. It was just kind of like, and sometimes we had a system like one of our songs, all three of them sung lead all the way down. We wanted to mimic Cameo where we're all three, everybody singing the lead at the same time. And we had different systems, but we did have a thing where, since coming from Suave, writing all this, his album, and being around Andre Wilson and all those different dudes, we had a style. We knew when something wasn't right. So I remember on the first album, it was kind of cutthroat. Sometimes when you wasn't kicking it, you would like, hey, get out the booth. Get out of here. You ain't doing it. Phillip would tell you that, some people would get mad, but like, man, that's cool. But it don't sound right. It's not giving us no
vibes.
No vibe, yeah. So
a lot like Prince and Morris Day. They did that a lot to Jesse. We did it too. It was fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you guys were still, for your debut album, you were still able to communicate as brothers and know that you had the eye on the bigger picture. So it was you able to patch up quick?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like with Phillip, he would write something and he would go to Eric if he needed a counterpart or something like that. It was kind of like that. Everybody knew people's strengths, so they would know who to go to for counterparts, who to finish a lyric or whatever. I remember us being that way. That's why it seemed like it was fun recording the first album. It was more fun.
When you guys came out with the first album,
I grew a lot though in that first album.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I would say about when you guys came out in '92 with the first album is that you guys reminded me of characters on A Different World. You guys looked like, you because you weren't like, say, Jodeci or R. Kelly. You looked like, that it was like, you guys went to Howard, you're in a different world. You looked like you were having fun. You had good looking girls. It wasn't all this, it wasn't what we were seeing outside. So it actually had this sense of, really black, strong, positive stuff. And even the song itself, Here We Go Again, was exciting. The video was really classy. And I was like, wow. So it was refreshing to have, the song was great, but it was almost the video and the imagery of how you guys came out was refreshing. And it looked as if you guys were having fun, which was really inspiring. So that probably aided the success.
We flipped it on them though. We put clothes on our strippers.
Yeah,
we did. We had a whole stripper crew. I won't say where they was from DC. They was in the video. They was in the first video. We put clothes on them. We made them look sexy. But we wanted to do it. We were more of a classy group. I mean, we just weren't into the raunchy. We just really like to be classy and smooth. So
yeah.
But was that a conscious idea? I mean, whose idea was it around? Imagery, because that was different. It separated you from what everyone else was doing. The fact that you all chipped in,
that was just us. That was naturally us. What you saw is how we were on a daily basis. Like, that's really how we are. We just smooth and cool, funny.
Yeah, I mean, Phillip, you was wearing Breitling watches at 20. I mean, really, so it wasn't.
We were really a very funny group. We had a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my favorite movies at the time was Love Jones, and that poetry, that kind of black love, but classy stuff, and that was the vibe. Carl Kanine, it was the vibe that you guys gave, and that's what resonated with the average fan of like, oh, this is really good. This is, singing well. It seems it's jazzy. It's it's fun.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, creatively, I know we were conscious of what was around us, because it had, we had like maybe 10 different groups. And so it's like, how do we blend?
Mm.
How do we blend in? And so we created a sound. Sometimes, a group is based on a style or a sound. And so we were like, man, how could we bleed through? We had respect for all the different groups, but it's like, what could we do to bleed through? Like Jodeci was, selling sex. Silk was selling sex.
Yeah, Boys to Men. You had Shy.
And so we just was like, now this is where Phillip's influence came in with the hip hop stuff, because since he introduced me to kind of like abstract hip hop, I knew when I first heard Bonita Applebum, Phillip played it for me. I was like, man, that's Here We Go Again with some vocals. I was sold. I was like, this is how we can do it. We can be real smooth. See, the hip hop guys, they loved us because we
they did
shows where we're hip hop people. Like when we went to London, it was us, Farside, De La Soul. We were doing shows with groups.
Yeah. Okay. I could see it. I can see you guys connecting with that type of audience. There was an element of some type of 20 meets mean condition in some of your music as well.
I think we were the first R&B group to get 5 mics in the Source.
On the Source? Yeah, you serious?
I think we was
yeah. We were the first hip hop R&B group in Source magazine.
The first R&B groups to get 5 mics.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They really liked us. Like we really like. Matter of fact, Method Man gave us a shout out like 2 months ago. He was like, I love Portrait. You know what I'm saying? He was like, because a lot of the cats, you'd be surprised, a lot of these hip hop cats and a lot of like real gangsters and real G's, they like smooth music.
When you do a song like Here We Go Again, do you not then
they don't like to just, hear raw hip hop,
Yeah. When you're doing a song like Here We Go Again, do you know when you finished it that this is gonna be a hit?
Let me tell you something, get a story. We all knew it was going to hit. The record company didn't want to put it out at first. They wanted to put Honey Dip out. They thought that was a big hit. We knew Here We Go Again was a hit from the time we finished it. But I'll tell you this story. I hated the bridge. To this day, I don't like the bridge. And Phil was like, dude, we got to do the bridge. He convinced me, like, man, I was like, man, we shouldn't put this in the music. I didn't want to do the bridge at all. I hated it. I don't know why.
What part of the bridge?
Michael's like, Phil, what you mean by? Phil was like, he was like, what you mean by climb the mountain? What?
Climb the mountain. That's just how high.
That's the bridge. That's the bridge. Yeah.
I don't know.
What you mean by swim the sea? I said, what's? I don't want to get too deep. Yeah, that's how that came about.
You know what? I was just thinking.
Really Michael Jackson climb every mountain. It was really Michael Jackson swim every sea. Remember that song Michael Jackson sang? And really, I know. I'm telling you now. You know what I'm saying? And really, what it was I wanted to joke out of Mike's curiosity. See what I'm saying? He was curious because he was like, I don't get what you're doing. Like, this is weird. And I was like, it's gonna be fun, Mike. Watch. He was like, nah, man, I don't like that bridge. Man, I was like, leave the bridge. And that turnaround on the bridge, to this day, I love it.
Musically, I thought I was slowing it down. I was like, sometimes I used to feel like bridges would slow things down. It would mess up the continuity or the momentum of the song. So that's why I didn't want to do it. And then Phillip put this weird thing on there. I was like, find them out. What? And everybody said that's the part that they remember the most. So I was wrong. I was wrong.
But how come you didn't do another song similar to that on that album? Because I don't know if you already had the formula. Don't you just say, oh, let's get another one that kind of fits?
Because, okay, look, Phillip would answer it different. I feel like after that album, when we traveled to Europe, we started seeing me personally, I seen all these beautiful women of Europe and Asia and Australia. And it just like made me say, I don't want to have fun no more. I want to grow up. And that's,
that was our biggest mistake. our biggest mistake is that we grew up too fast. We got too mature. We
Oh,
really stopped having fun with the records. That's why all that matters is so moody.
Serious. Yeah.
Because we weren't having fun. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have the fun part about, you know, me and Eric sitting down drinking 40 ounces and me getting my TV repossessed by a Rent-A-Center. You know
Like
what I'm
stuff
saying? We
like
had a
that.
little bread then. Yeah, stuff like that. Or riding around in the Skylark. We didn't have
Mm-hmm.
$10. So we all
Mm-hmm.
eating burgers together. And we had to, I think the biggest mistake we made was not living together anymore. Because I think if we would have lived together, we would have stayed together on the second album, it would have been way
They would have had
crazier.
fun. Yeah, it
Yeah,
would have had
we
more
would have had a
fun.
lot
Yeah.
more fun.
Yeah.
I wonder, does it ever happen where if you wrote a lot of material for the first album that you could have used some of that material for the second album? Or
We
does it
did. We
become,
wrote about 25 tunes. We just narrowed it down. We wrote 25 or 30 tunes on the first album. We just kind of narrowed it down and
yeah,
um
but the thing before the first album comes up and it blows up, do you ever think, well, we were in a good place when we wrote this first album. Let's take the leftovers and use it for the second album. Or do you just rewrite the whole thing? Because
No,
that's what I want.
we were too creative.
I wanted to be, yeah, we too creative. I wanted to be on a whole nother vibe. Like, and Mike started playing and getting serious about the Fender Rhodes and like doing a different
Yeah.
vibe. That's why, you know, it's certain songs like, you know, on that album that you know, like Loving You Is All Right. Like that's more of an adult song. Loving You Is All
We
Right
were
is about
young.
real relationships. And we were young, you know, All Natural Girl and
Yeah.
Here's a Kiss, you know, I Can Call You. Those were like kind of mature. You know, and then, you know, when Creep, because we came out the same time that Creep came out. When Creep came out by TLC, and
Okay.
they were having fun.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
so I Creep, yo, I'm down on
Yeah.
the down
Yeah.
low. They having fun with it, and that's what people our age were doing. We got too serious because we were serious musicians.
Right. We signed to Quincy Jones and we were serious. We were just serious. We didn't play. It was
Over the
just
same age, we were young, but we were so music.
I, I, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm, I'm just. I mean, I'm um, just checking albums, what came out in '95, and if I see about it, we had the show and after party, Freaking News. We had D'Angelo. We had Groove Theory. Tell Me.
Mhm.
Faith Evans, Montel with This Is How We Do It. So, and we had R. Kelly, Brownstone, Cut Close, Brian McKnight, Remember You, All for One. So they were a lot of, yeah, I think the mood was quite different. So For Real with Candy Rain. Um, yeah,
plus the record company, you know, they didn't
See,
really know
that's
what
all
to do with the
fun.
music.
That's all fun music, and
yeah,
that's kicking it.
that's 95. Yeah, that was 95. John B. Bonafide. But he looked at you, yeah. And we had Wayne to Exhale. So it was a different, yeah. So I think that's what happened because when you first came out, people wanted to be like you guys because hang out with you guys because you look like fun guys, like oh, this is a sophisticated black guy. And I think when you start to come quickly, and we're still young, and you're growing up quicker than we are, I think we can,
Right.
yeah.
That
But
affects it. And then the record company, the marketing, they didn't really quite know what to do with us. So we can kind of blame them too. Um,
yeah, I mean, I spent 3.5 hours speaking to Tracy Spencer. She told me about how
oh yeah,
every
Capital
yeah,
Script.
they
Yeah.
get Capital, how they, the whole black department just disappeared. So,
Yep.
once I know you're on Capital, I realize, it's yeah, because Tracy said
Yeah.
the whole department just disappeared, and it just, they didn't know how to market her stuff.
Bro, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something funny. I'm gonna say something, Mike. I'm gonna say
Okay.
something funny too. We went
Oh,
on, we went on tour. Capital at the end of the tour, where our album was like just getting past gold, so they decided that they wanted to give us a party in the lobby of the venue with the gold album up. I was livid. I literally cussed everybody out.
Keep talking. Yeah.
Why is that?
Night, Shantae was not an event for her at George's, which was one of our premier restaurants. It was fantastic restaurants on Melrose Avenue. I mean, they had all the stars out there. They had everybody out there. Everybody we knew. Everybody was like, "Yo, y'all album is big too. Why y'all not having a party like this?" That it was over for me. I went nuts. I mean,
Yeah.
I was like, they don't know what they're doing. You know, that was a really low point. You know, that was a low point. And on top of that, me and Mike we didn't get paid. We didn't get paid for that tour.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah.
We did not get paid.
Yeah. It was people sometimes people say that we would have been on a label like MCA or something like that. We would have.
Yeah. Maybe
It would have changed.
Arista. Yeah. You probably would have gone up. Yeah, Arista stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a song on the Portrait album, Problems. That was the only new Jack Swing album, and I wanted to song, but I was thinking, okay, who are you guys talking about? But that was the new Jack sort of throwback to
Okay.
Teddy.
Let me tell you. There's a story about Problems.
Oh, Phillip is laughing. He almost fell
Eric,
over.
Eric. One of Eric's favorite groups was the Andrews Sisters.
Andrew sisters, okay.
Yeah. So Eric, um, it was a tough one. I mean, it was a vocal challenge, and Eric wanted to do all these these things, and we knew the talent and what he was doing, but
Mike hated that song. Stop it, Mike.
Yeah, I didn't like it as much. Yeah, I didn't really like it as much but again, I'm in the middle again because Eric is my dude growing up. I mean, we started off together, so
Yeah.
I didn't think it was cool for us, but I didn't have enough, at the time. I'm just doing music. I couldn't say, nah, man, I just, it took me to about the second album to where I can say, hey, man, yeah.
No, the thing about it,
oh man, my stomach hurt.
Because I listened to it and I'm thinking, okay, this is the only song that sounds like a New Jack song. It doesn't fit the album, but for those of us, I'm a big Teddy fan, so I was like, okay, it stood out, but it just didn't flow with it, and actually reminded me of Timmy Gatlin. The guy had a song called "Business."
Oh man, it's what's funny about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You know what's funny about that is that Mike and Eric, I'm gonna be honest, Mike and Eric, we all felt the same way about the song because when we did that song in like the 80s. We did that song in like 88, 87.
Yeah, makes sense now. Yeah.
It wasn't part of it wasn't. Yeah. We did that way before we did the group.
Because we already had because the beat was knocking.
Yeah,
like the beat was yeah, we did that way before we did the group, and that shit was knocking back then.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do it. I was like, nah, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And because we had another song that I really liked at that time that it didn't make the album. Like, I want to do something else, but once again, me and Mike was constantly going at it about putting songs on the album. Somebody had to, it had to even out. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't feel it. So my revenge was a song called Heartache.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wrote this song called Heartache. And so I don't know if you ever heard that song on the album.
Yeah.
And
yeah. It was.
Okay, Phil,
like I said,
because that was the last song on the album. That was the last song we did. Actually, was Heartache.
It was a combination of, like you said, it's really like, all right, this person wrote this many songs. This person didn't get enough cheese. You wanted somebody, and it was like I was looking at it that way when I should have been looking at it like whatever the best song, whoever got the best song. You know what I mean? So I'm in the middle again. So you learn your lesson.
But I think there was one thing I noticed that you guys did on the first album. It was produced by Portrait, which was the production stuff. And I'm reminded of people like Coldplay, REM, um, and U2. And one of the things they said when you listen to Bono or Chris Martin, they say we did everything written and produced by Coldplay and U2 because that way no one feels if someone is making more money. It felt like, like a team, and that's why they're successful and longevity. And I thought that was what you guys would do. When you saw it on the first time, I thought, wow, this is really great. Did that change when you did all that matters? That is like, no, I want more credits, I want more this, or did you still keep the brotherhood when writing and putting that together?
It started changing a little bit, but it's still like I feel like the first album, okay, like this is the way I feel. We were kind of like if a songwriter, if one of the guys in the group wrote the full song by itself and it was good enough, it went. I feel like the first album was kind of like, because we learned from the whispers. There are mentors, and they used to always say, take care of everybody, make sure, even if everybody's not even, make sure everybody feels part, everybody feels even. Mm. And that's where I was coming from. But so I feel like on the first album, even if someone didn't do anything, you still want to pitch them in and have them do stuff. And I was guilty because of that, because some songs could have been cool already. But then, if this person didn't write him, or he needs to get on here, which that could have messed up the whole song. All that matters was more like, we were kind of like, if it ain't happening, it ain't happening. It's not going down. If you're not hitting your vocal correct, you're not going to be in the booth doing it. We were more more structured and more focused writing wise on all that matters. That's what I feel.
But were you able to do that in love, or was it, they call speak the truth in love, or was it?
Yeah, it was all in love. Like we never had a physical fight. We've always we've always been like brothers, man. We just, we may argue, but we love each other, man.
Now, I saw the four of you on DJ.
We had a lot of love for each other, period. We still do to this day. Like we're all still real tight. We're all still really good friends.
Yeah, I saw the four of you guys on Pastor Mike Volume 3, which was I told Cassidy that was my favorite. I think his favorite is Volume 1 because that was how it started. But mine was Volume 3 because that was it had my era and stuff. How did that come about? Did Cassidy call you guys, and was it hard to convince the four of you to come into?
We had some little. He called me first. I had to call Eric. And see, originally my thing was, since people hadn't seen us in a while, and even though Phillip wasn't in the group at the time, I still wanted them to see all the original people who threw down, like, this is our baby, this is our number one hit. And so it was kind of funny, but I know what I wanted, and I told Eric what I wanted, and we got in contact with Phil, and it was kind of funny at first because Kurt Jackson, who came and when Phil was out the group, he came in and replaced on tour when we were doing. See, Kurt was not on wax on the records, but he did the touring stuff when he came in for Phillip. So people were like, should he do it? And I was feeling like, nah, I feel like the original. I feel like the public deserves to see the original. And call Phillip and Phil.
Yeah, we cut that in like 10 minutes.
But how was it like getting a call, Phillip, after all this time, though? Did you like?
I mean, I was like, it was like riding a bike. Me and Mike, it was like riding a bike. It took us 10 minutes to cut that.
Oh,
really? We did one version. Yeah, that was like one take.
Even when we did the record originally, that was a quick song. When we recorded that, they was like doing that in one take.
Okay, but did
Mike? Yeah, it was like one take.
No, but then were you surprised with the reaction? How how everyone reacted to the whole Pastor Mike and the fact that you guys
blew up. Yeah.
I wanted. That's why everybody I wanted the
freaked, man. My phone was like an overload. They was like, "When y'all coming?"
But did that get Phillip back in then? How did
when are y'all like going, and we talked to the guys again. Me and Mike talked to the guys. We were like, yo, guys, let's do some more music, and let's, me and Mike got a whole bunch of stuff, and they said, well, okay, we don't really want to do that. I was like, all right. So me and Mike put out Afro Trees, which was amazing. So
see that's what happened. It was like we thought that after that, getting together and doing Pastor Mike,
from the stuff
everybody would want to do it. But they didn't want to do it. So that's why me and Phillip started doing the Afro Trees production and stuff like that, because we asked the guys legitimately, did they want to do another record? Did they want to go on tour? And they both said no. I mean, we still love them, but they both said no.
Okay.
Anyone?
And there was no plans to, okay, let's get two other guys to make it a four, or you just
not Afro Trees. No, not Afro Trees. No,
not Afro Trees.
We just, me and Phillip, no, I was one trying to keep us original. And I was like, man, if we just do Afro Trees, let's not put it's me and you, let's not put no faces on there and try to act like it's for people. That's just all me and Phillip. We're just kind of doing the sound of our.
Man, that album is banging, bro. That album is hot like fire. In the moment is incredible. So is the way I felt. Like, it's a great album. And me and Mike, to be honest with you, me and Mike got a whole nother album in the queue. We got another song. We got Dream About You coming like as soon as me and Mike. Yeah, we got Beach Music coming, but Dream About You is a banger. Like, wait till you hear this new music we got. Like, it's fire.
Okay, so without capital, how, what's the plan? How do you do it? How do you go independent? If you're used
we're gonna do distro. We're gonna do distro. Normal through the normal distribution channels. Me and Mike are gonna we're gonna put a little budget together and do some content and just let it grow organically. My thing is, I told Mike, and Mike is gonna agree, like, it's important to do more music, because the more music you put out, more publishing, more streams, it's gonna eventually catch up. One of these young guys is gonna catch one of our records and fall in love with it, and boom. Because the stuff that we're writing right now is fire, man. I'm telling you, it's fire. It's really good.
But there's no. And that's good to hear. Like, when I speak to, say, Dalvin from Jodeci, he's constantly putting out music, and he's like, it's not about, if a song goes viral, that's great, but he just loves making music, and he makes his videos because he has it so much in him. He just wants to put it out. And I think as a fan, it's like, yeah, I can buy that because I know it's coming from a place of love. You're not and it's whether it sells 1,000 copies or 100,000, you still have it in you. Where are you guys when it comes to putting out the music? So I know you put out Afro Trees, and
yep.
And now this new one. Are you in the place where we've got it in us? We can put it out there. If it hits, it hits. But we can sing it in our shows. Or what's the plan and purpose?
Me and Mike just want to be creative. We just want to be creative with the music.
Yeah, we just keep doing music. Like, In the Moment kept caught on to where, like, we can do it live when we do our shows, and people, know it. They request it. It's really keeping the music going. Like, it may not be all four of us, but you still hear the sound of Portrait, because Portrait, we had a sound. And so Phillip sung a lot of leads, so people remember his voice and his tone. And me doing the music. So we feel like, again, it's like a project. Okay, we did our Portrait albums, but now the guys Portrait, they have what they call project albums. Afro Trees is one of them. Beach Music is be another one. It's from the guys who are from Portrait. You're gonna hear that sound still.
Yeah. When should we expect Beach Music?
Summertime, maybe late summer.
Okay. Yeah. And what about? Are you guys going back on the road?
Late summer, early fall. Maybe we might put it in the next. But we definitely. We definitely got to get out there. A lot of people want to see us. They've seen the other '90s groups. They want to see us. You know what I'm saying? And me and Mike, we sound just like we did when we was kids. The music is, we energetic, we athletic.
So how would it
ready to get out? At least hip hop. Anybody wants to book? Get in contact. Yeah, they know. She's responsible. So she's working on some dates for us right now. So we're getting it together.
So what can we expect if somebody comes to a portrait concert in 2025? What can we expect on stage?
It's gonna be high energy. It's gonna be hip hop with jazz and
smooth. Yeah, combination of being smooth and energetic at the same time.
It's gonna be some really great, but it's gonna be some great. Our catalog. If you really look at our catalog, we got a lot of great music, man. We got a lot of great music to come to. So you're just gonna have a good time, you know.
So I know you're going to be doing a lot of the lead singing, Phillip. Then with Michael, are you going to be singing as well, or are you just going to be behind a keyboard? Or
no. We have a friend of ours we're going to roll with. Yeah, we have a friend of ours. His name is Ruben. He used to be a part of a group, Poor, Broken, Lonely, and he accompanies us. He comes with us on the road. So he'll sing with us too. So yeah, I don't want to sing. I just want to play music. I did want to sing. I mean, I'm on our backgrounds.
Mike sound good. Mike sound good singing backs. He being modest.
Okay.
I'm not getting my ass up there.
Okay. No, I mean, as I said, that's definitely going to be something we're definitely going to be looking out for. And so I'm sure, at least will let us know when you guys are going on tour. But it's also one of the things I'm really glad to hear that throughout the interview you kept re-emphasizing the fact that both Irv and Eric are still, you're still brothers, but they've chosen to do something else. So it isn't like a fallout or anything like that. It's just that they've just chosen after all these years to do something.
No, we still talk we still hang, man. We still hang out together. We still kick it. Like I was in Dallas. Irv came to see me. We still talk, and plus we still do business together. Me, Eric, and Irvin and Mike. We just recaptured all our stuff from Capitol.
Okay.
Yeah. Stuff that they owe.
We're still doing business together. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys writing, producing for others, or are you just really focused on yourselves?
It's kind of weird because
me and Mike both got projects. We both got young people that we're working on.
Everybody's doing it separately.
I know I'm working on with some young people.
Yeah, we do stuff together and we do stuff individually. So, the music always going. Me and Phillip gonna always have a catalog of songs. Me and Eric talked about it recently. He wants to get back writing some stuff again. So, but we'll always keep the music going, always.
Okay. So just as we wrap up, one of the things that I always ask my guests is that if you were, I always want to find out for each of you. I'd probably start with you, Phillip. What's your favorite movie? So if you were sort of like having to wait for a plane and you're like, I'm going to put on my favorite movie while I'm killing
Godfather.
time. Okay. And that's the original one.
Yeah, number one.
Okay.
It's my favorite movie.
Okay. What about you, Mike?
Maverick, Top Gun.
Oh, so are you talking about the second one, Maverick, or the first one, Top Gun?
The second one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good movie. I like that movie, Mike.
Yeah, I seen it again last night.
That's a good call, Mike. I like that movie.
Yeah, you like that, Maverick?
I like that movie.
Yeah,
that's a good call.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Second question then is, and I'll start with you, Mike, this time. Of all your songs that you've listened to, which would be your, and it doesn't have to be your song, but I'm just saying, what's your all-time favorite song?
It's gonna throw people off if have not. Pat Metheny 6'8".
Oh, I don't think I know that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a classic.
6'8". That's a classic.
It's a musical classic, instrumental. I'm a different guy, man.
Okay.
Yeah. Different guy. People who know that it's like I wouldn't even listen to stuff like that, like I said, until I met Phillip. Kind of put me on that stuff that you can go to the Hollywood Bowl and listen to.
Okay.
Well, it's crazy, but yeah, Pat Metheny 6'8".
I'm gonna look out for that one, Pat Metheny 6'8". What about you, Phil? What's your?
I got too many to name. I can name my top 5, maybe.
Okay, go ahead then.
I can name my top 5. Like, I think my favorite thing.
Are we gonna have to have
Soul Train.
Okay, no, you're gonna have to do it again, Phil, because you froze. Yeah.
Um, my favorite things.
Yeah.
My favorite things. John Coltrane. Um, Yearning, the Gap Band.
Hmm.
Uh,
I
Did it
think.
go out?
KRS One. Um, yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I think Drake. I think Dr. Dre got one or two too. I got some. It's a few songs that I just love, man. I think my
Okay.
favorite things is like one of my favorite though. I would say John Coltrane.
Okay, so we've got that one. Okay, and then finally, because you guys are producers, songwriters, if you had everyone talked about Mount Rushmore, which is four, but your top five favorite producers, who would be, if you had to put your top five on your, who would make that top five? You've got, yeah. So who would make your? I'll
Hey,
start with
Mike,
you.
can I get mine real quick?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
get
ahead.
yours. Yeah.
Mike is one of my favorite. Mike Angelo.
Thank you, sir.
Um,
Thank you.
uh,
Appreciate that.
and I'm not being biased. Norman Whitfield.
Okay.
Um, Maurice White. Um, who else? That's three. Jay Dilla.
Wow. Okay.
Jay
Mm.
Dilla's like one of my favorite producers. And Easy Mo B.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the first. What about you,
Yeah,
Mike?
you
Who
have
would
to
make
make
your
the
top
book.
five?
It's hard. I would say Jay Dilla, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Quincy Jones, um, Teddy Riley, and Chucky Booker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's dope.
Okay. That's that. No, I mean that's definitely a different dynamics with. I mean, Phil, you kind of went left field with yours. I thought you were going to call it Alien Babyface and Timberland and stuff. But you kind of, but I think what I've heard
Yeah.
from the interviews that your spectrum of music is quite broad.
Oh
So
yeah,
the hence you got different influences.
Yeah,
yeah.
I went to a whole nother space musically. I started playing probably like 20 years ago. I play guitar now. I've been playing for a little bit. And it really kind of opened me up to the I'm starting to lean towards a lot more musical producers now.
Mm.
Now I'm starting to lean as I get older. But as a young guy, Mike will tell you, I was really serious about hip hop. That was
Wow.
my thing.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm and for me, like I'm working on my jazz album. It's just gonna
Wow.
Hmm
be yeah, it's just gonna be piano, upright bass, brush sticks, and maybe some guest flutists, like a flutist or a saxophonist. And
Oh,
it's
you
I'm
may get
doing it.
Andre 3000 or something, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but at least I know. Yeah, yeah. I would say this. It's called Not Quite Jazz. That's going to be the title because I'm not trying to step on jazz heads, or I'm not. I don't have chops like the jazz guys, but I got an ear that'll compete with anybody out there. And so I'm going to do
1,000%.
this project. Yeah, I want to do this project. And I want my portrait fans to support me because it's kind of like some of the stuff that when we would stay at hotels. First of all, we got a catalog of ballads, man, that we would write in lobby hotels that no one has never heard.
Ooh,
Wow.
And so a lot of that stuff
ooh,
is going to be piano. Yeah, it's people that have never heard. All them ballads we wrote from the piano.
yeah,
It's going to be a lot of
yeah.
stuff that we didn't. Not saying that we didn't release, but it's going to be the feel of piano orientated things with the jazz overtone.
No singing, just really
I
just the
hope I can
music.
get on. I hope I can get on that record, man. I hope I get a chance to write a song.
Love you, man. I love you. I don't want no
Yeah,
vocals
I
on. I'm
love you too,
sorry.
man. Nah,
I
but I
just
mean, I could play something. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, I could play something.
I might leave a little somewhere you could play some guitar in there. You know what I'm saying? Some little acoustic
Yeah,
guitar.
Okay. I mean,
you know, some
yeah.
some spoon, rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
when you plan to do, I guess when both albums are, when the is it Beach Dreams? Okay, I can't
Music,
remember.
beach music.
Beach Music. So when that's coming out, we need to probably to go live, and so people can be aware it's coming out, and
Oh, yeah.
and promote that. And then when you're jazz album comes out as well, then we can always get you back so we can try and push that as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate that, you guys, taking your time, just giving us just a little flavor of the group. If people want to follow you guys, where can they follow you guys on social media and
Portrait
stuff?
Music with a K. So on Instagram, it's Portrait Music with a K at the end.
Okay, so music with I-K, not I-C. Okay.
Yeah, IK. We all have our individuals. Like my Instagram is the real M Angelo 1.
Okay.
Instagram, and then Phillip, you can give yours.
I'm not on social media like that. I just got a private account, but I'm with Portrait Music though.
Okay. Okay. Not a problem. But as I say, when the album comes out, we'll be able to find out where it'll be available on streams. So will you guys do any visuals for the?
Well, yeah, we want to actually play some music for you next time. Play some music like premiere some of the
we
music.
want to play some music next time.
Yeah. I did that with a few groups where we did a sort of a launch party, but I'd rather go live so that people could tune in on YouTube while you're playing it, so they can so that would definitely do so. Whenever you guys are about to release it, the week that
we gonna hit you up. Me and Mike gonna hit you up.
Yeah, and we'll go live and so that we can really promote the album so people know to stuff like that. Yeah, man, I really appreciated you guys. I know, and so Elise,
all right, brother.
I've been rocking with Elise since 2020. So she
got
me
man.
Timmy.
She's a good person, man.
Yeah, she's been supporting me when I had like 5 subscribers. So so I've got nothing but love for her. So
respect, man.
How many you got now?
I think 270,000, but yeah,
that's
but
great.
Awesome.
And shout out to Luke. Shout out to the UK. They've always given us love every time we've come over there, all the way from the Hippodrome back in the day.
Oh, the Hippodrome. yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was the first time we was over there with Brownstone. Yeah. So they always give us love. So.
Yeah, I appreciate it. No, we'll get you back live when the album's out, so people can it'll really help with promotion. But I really appreciate you guys, and I can't wait to see you guys. Man. Yeah, all right.
Thank you, my brother.
Guys.
Anytime.
All right, brother. Okay. Peace.
Take care. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
And somewhere in between us, for even loving us, on which I didn't miss you.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay, you're okay.
They don't understand what Jonas Boys and men and all spirits.
Play it.
I mean, I love all different genres.